Hello, welcome back to episode 2 of Running Omega, or Running the Omega Tales book. Hi, my name is Casey Patterson. I'm the creator of the Omega Playbook for the CyberpunkRed. This episode is for all the GMs out there and how to run Omega. Taylor, if you want to take it away.
Just as like a little primer, we did create this with CyberpunkRed in mind. Our rulebook is not going to have any of those rules, so go out to your friendly local game store, drive through, online, wherever it is you choose to buy games. PDFs, it's on Roll20 now, just saying. Get your stuff because you're gonna need that first off, because we're not gonna talk about it.
And guys, support these guys. The whole reason behind this book was because I enjoyed CyberpunkRed and thought it was going to be a good place to play Mass Effect. The combat works very well here.
This book also so worn because I've used it so much. It's great. It's worth it. This is all you need for GMs and players. Everything in one book. It's not like some games that you have to buy like 30 books for everybody.
First Coast!
Which I do still love.
I mean, I still love you guys. Yeah.
That's not even all of the books. There's more over there. But, so get your rule book. Because we'll talk about it in these videos and stuff, but as far as the playbook, none of that's listed. It's going to say, hey, go to the rulebook. But that's where you, as a GM, comes in, because it's a homebrew thing. Things are going to be a little wonky up to interpretation because we made a whole new system, like when it comes to biotics and things, that is going to need someone who is an expert in the base rules to kind of be that referee, be kind of the last say. You gotta think about like Mass Effect. It's like a big old space odyssey. It's about like the big set pieces. It's about the big characters. So I know Casey's got some words on it, but rule of cool, baby. Let's go.
Let me emphasize this. I'm gonna say it with my whole chest. If you were a rules lawyer, this might not be the right place. Mass Effect has always been, like Taylor said, set big battles, decision making, grandiose opera. It's the rule of it's literally the definition of rule of cool. Everybody's rolling nat 10s. Everybody is awesome. Everybody's sexy. You know, you got to bring the rule of cool to the table. Now, with that said, stop yourself with some of your players, because some of them will love to take advantage. David.
Not me this time. I take advantage of David's taking advantage. He's the first step in the taking advantage. I just leech off of it.
The rest of y'all just like put the Vorcha in the front, and we'll just capitalize off of his chaos. You got to be able to roll with the punches, GMs, with this kind of game style, because your players will take advantage of it and do some things. I'm gonna tell you a story. Let's story time real quick on what almost broke this GM. It's a couple episodes ago, and we're hunting people, and I have this big baddie made literally to kill 2 of my problematic players. I know people are like, you're not supposed to do that, Casey. I was like, go watch our games. But it wasn't the fact that they killed her with the ease. No, that's not what almost broke me. It was the fact that Miss Taylor here rolled under her luck and got wooden planks in a Cyberpunk/Mass Effect universe, and it just so happens her luck was good enough to find wooden planks to cross over a ledge. That right there almost broke me, and why some GMs have to be like, you have to be okay with the absurdity that comes with rule of cool, because
I was like,
be there?
You know, that exists in like The Last of Us as a joke. I've been
I was like, yeah, there's no, because you have terrible luck roll. I was like, there's no way she's gonna find it and she's gonna have to jump. So I went with it as a rule of cool. Like, sure, you got this. She won't get it. And then she got it. And you have to honor that, GMs. Sometimes the rule of cool will bite you in the ass. And you have to honor.
It's such a fun story now.
But yeah, it's hilarious.
I got to The Last of Us in Mass Effect.
Yeah, it's like, what? And that's a cool thing, G. Like, again, when I came up with this game, I came up with it because I liked Cyberpunk's rule of cool. I liked how much that was emphasized. Like, Mike Pindsmith said it himself. You know, gotta be rule of cool here. And I'm like, yeah, that's really cool. And that would work really well with with Mass Effect. And here we are. Like, some of the coolest shit that y'all have done technically cannot be done as rules as written in Cyberpunk, but because it's so damn cool, I'm like, yeah, sure, just don't roll a 1.
Yeah,
you know. No,
I wish we had a counter of how many times Casey in our games have said, sure, just don't roll a 1. Obviously, as your players level up, because your Mass Effect rolls are going to level up with your CyberpunkRed rolls, like your solo, your tech, those are going to go up. They're going to get cooler powers, whatever weapons, whatever things you give them, you know, maybe if you need to nerf some things or make your bad guys even scary, you know, obviously you're going to have to do some adjusting there because we're adding newer, cooler things than just what's with the Cyberpunk. So what maybe a normal solo at a rank 6 could take, a solo with a rank 6 who is also a soldier with battle armor maybe needs a little bit more. Which plays into those big set pieces, though, because you can have big battles, which may not be your thing. I'm not a big fan of combat either. Let me just get that straight. But it's fun. Like, this has made combat fun for me. I get bored in combat. I am notoriously, I know, taboo. This is my red flag, my guilty habit. D&D especially. Combat, I'm texting, I'm scrolling through Instagram, I'm anything but paying attention to combat during my turn. Not in this game. I'm like, how can I screw Casey over next? It's become a competition.
It really has. I mean, it really has. It's like, what can I do to combat Taylor's bullshittery today? All right, well, fucking Borgs. You got 7 Borgs. Deal with it. Fuck, she dealt with it.
Yeah, so play with it, but that does, like I say, play into it. You have these big, I mean, I threw waves and waves and waves of Geth at y'all, but that really wasn't the big thing. It was like, okay, you have to get out of here before this goes down, and then you gotta go this, and oh my god, now there's Reapers attacking, and okay, but here's a big Krogan. There's other things going on. The cannon fodder just makes it a little more fair.
Like, the very first game, not even the first episode of Omega Tales, the very first with you in it, the Christmas special, right?
Mm-hmm.
Y'all showed up. I put y'all on an alleyway. Now, granted, I made it to where the map was vertical up and down. We've used this map a few times. Mm-hmm. I think David went down and below. He's done this a couple times. You think I would have learned? But I gave you all the checks in the world to see that there's a giant Loki mech here.
Well, here's the thing, is I did see, and I knew, and I told everybody, but we had a Krogan.
We had a Krogan, and we had a Krogan controlled by a player who doesn't know Mass Effect.
And is also a chaotic player in general, because GMs.
Just because your players do ridiculously cool things doesn't mean you don't punish them.
Oh, I say, yeah, good, deal out that punishment. I don't know how many times that I feel immediately guilty when I do something. I'm like, Casey, don't let me get away with it.
Well, some of the things, because it's like, cool, but then, though she is now dead, I played a character that had pretty much ruined your mental capacity with your character for weeks.
Yeah, that was my punishment, was, emotional damage.
But yeah, don't be afraid to take your character, your people's backgrounds, and use it. I'm not saying against them, but to help build out the world. Mm-hmm. Make it about them. That's what I've done with this game, is that I've made this whole situation about them. Put NPC. I like right now, but you don't have to do that. But that's kind of the point of Mass Effect.
Yeah, it makes you a part of the Mass Effect world. You're not playing in Shepard's Mass Effect. You're playing in Renos's Mass Effect, in Lauren's Mass Effect. You know, like it's you get to finally, because I've always said I'm not a big fan of MMOs, but god dang, if they made a Mass Effect MMO, all over that shit, I'd be so into it, because I already know the lore and I already like the lore and I'm interested in it, unlike every other MMO I've tried to play. But you get to do that and then play it with your friends and do all these awesome things. And so I think that's just another fun aspect that GMs get to do, is do a bit of world building in already this expansive world. Like, come up with these new gangs, these new interesting characters and things to bring your players in, do a session 0 and plan out bits and things of who these players are, where they fit into this world, what do they know about it. And really just kind of be the keeper of y'all's version of Mass Effect.
Almost, you're not you know how the Cyberpunk says you're a referee? Mm-hmm. You're not a I would almost say you are not a referee in this module. What you are is a facilitator. Mm-hmm. You're a facilitator to allow people to tell the stories they want to tell in this universe. Your job is to basically, yes, build the big set pieces. That's basically what I do. Mm-hmm. You can get into the nitty gritty if you want. I build set pieces and then I say go play, and then I basically be like, yeah. And this is one of the few games that I feel like if we played for 6 or 7 hours, we would completely be okay with. Like,
I just lose track of time.
Like we have done it in the beginning. I've gotten better as a person, because my job requires me to actually sleep to do. I've gotten good at like stopping us at a point, but I remember in the beginning we were 5, almost 6 hours one episode, like episode 3 or 4.
Get into it when it is this world, this thing that you enjoy and know, and like don't get it twisted. David knows nothing about Cyberpunk. He knows everything about Cyberpunk. He knows nothing about Mass Effect. He plays a whole clan of Vorcha who lives in our ship and has so much fun and is so into it. So even if all your players may not know Mass Effect, they know sci-fi, they know Star Wars, they know all these things that they can get into the zone and get into the groove and learn some cool new things along the way, like biotics and all that, and this whole new world and system and economy. That's another thing. Money, up to your discretion. You know, Mass Effect's crazy, millions for like the basic thing. If you want to simplify that, probably would be best. So you're not saying it costs 900,000 credits for like a pack of ammo.
Right. So like for me, right, like what I do as a GM is I take basically a couple zeros off the top.
Yeah, makes it easier. And
it makes it easier. And now, granted, so another thing, GMs, ask your players what you want. I asked what they wanted, and I also decided that they're going to play at the high echelon of Cyberpunk. Mm-hmm. So they came in major heroes. Now, as a rookie GM, I do not advise you to do that. Especially if you're playing with veteran people.
Yeah.
Do not do that, because you will very quickly realize when you're like, oh yeah, this I saw this on another streamer with a rookie GM. That was a tough encounter. I'm gonna make an encounter like that, and then 2 turns in, half your squad that you made is dead, and the other half is on life support because the one sniper and the one Vorcha literally killed 4 of them with a well-placed grenade and sniper shot.
I forgot we did that. We do so many things. I don't even remember anymore. We do so many cool things.
You learn very quickly, like, oh, I gave them too much power. Let me just up the stakes, to the point now where they have literally a horde of people they have and traps that they have to deal with next.
Which I feel like, you know, this is the struggle of a GM for any game, is like that balance. I think just keep in mind what is already made and you would expect from base Cyberpunk. Bump that up, because you're getting more things, you're getting stronger guns, you're getting new powers, you're getting more than you would in your basic Cyberpunk game. I guess is the long-winded way.
Yeah, I'm saying, like, you're basically getting a little bit more. Everything is a little more amped. One of the things, we'll get more into it in the class systems, or had the point. Well, I don't know, we can probably get it. I don't think we have it split out. So one of the things I changed in this, and I went over with Taylor and Gavin about, is the one thing, again, art tell historian, this is I get it for Cyberpunk. We're in the Mass Effect universe, it doesn't apply here. Is the 2-time system. Yes. I couldn't, in my mind, when developing this, make sense of that. I'm like, this is where you can slap Omnigel on something and hack a damn computer. So, there is no 2x system in this. So, martial arts, demolition, anything else that has 2x, just base regular IP. So, your players are going to level up quicker, too. Also, take whatever now, I'm a generous GM. I give a lot of IP out, but honestly, it's because they do it. The team that plays, they do an excellent job at role playing and at combat. So I reward as just, if not more, especially if it's heavy, like the heavy or light scenes. Mm-hmm. There's never not like, and again, I'm self-grandizing us, but it's because our group does a really good job with the role playing. So everybody gets 100 to 100. I think the highest I ever get out was like 200 IP because it was such a heavy but satisfying episode that everybody had a point to play in, you know?
Yeah.
So like, GMs, don't be afraid to don't be a stingy, don't be stingy about the IP. Sorry about that. What I'm saying is be an easy GM. This game is about world building and having fun.
Mm-hmm.
You know, yes, as a GM, when you get competitive sometimes, if you are that type of GM like I am, you will. You can, but we've got the tools in here to help you build bad guys out to be scary as hell.
Yeah, we've broken a little bit. Oh, go ahead.
I was like, there's a gun in here that chops people in half on double sixes.
Yeah, like we've broken the balance a little bit when it comes to players and the abilities and skills, but guess how many cool things your bad guys now get to use? Yeah,
I was like, people will look at this and be like, man, there's no balance here. I was like, hey, GMs, I never said the GM couldn't use this power either. And if your players know what's up. Your players should know what's going on here.
Give that veteran mook like some biotics and a freaking crazy plasma rifle. See how they like it. Throw it back at them.
I have thrown a lot of scary weaponry that has just barely missed it. I should have killed them.
It's been scary, but yeah. I mean, I think that kind of covers it. Like I said, obviously, you are the final call in how to work in these rules with the Cyberpunk rules and all of that, on whether maybe any sort of confusion, which hopefully we will clear up a lot of the confusion when we get to the specific roles and digging into the nitty gritty and all of that sort of stuff. Obviously, money, do that. The sun is creeping in my window. I'm like trying to hide from it.
You can tell we're definitely in 2 different time zones because it's starting to get dark over here.
Yeah. And then just have fun.
Live by my thing to say is like, just live by the rule of cool, man. Be collaborative with your players. Like, this is very much a collaborative thing.
Yeah.
You know,
I feel like there's so many new things. Being that rule stickler is gonna get really dirty really quick when there's so many new things that may contradict some, because we tried to keep out all the contradictions and things, but stuff comes up depending on different people's play that we haven't experienced yet, which we'll keep updating and making new versions as we come up with those things. So
like we're already talking. I already have a new mod list that I've been working on that will be out probably shortly after we release this one. And there's even some, because our actual play is still a game testing play, and there have been revisions, because either some people have abused the shit out of some of the rules that I've made, not realizing what it is. Gavin.
Look, isn't that why you picked us? This group of chaotic GMs is so we could push every button and test every limit to these rules, because we are.
I tell you what. They really have. But it's a like I said, it's a collaborative piece of work. Don't be afraid to use your as a GM, don't be afraid to constructively use your character's backgrounds to create really good moments. Remember that it's about the set pieces, but also about the little stories in between. And I basically say, don't get lost in the sauce. Don't be easy about it, you know? And just know you're coming in with a fun, collaborative game style that hopefully brings you as much joy as when you first turned on the first Mass Effect game.
Such a big universe, so make your own little niche in it. Make your own your story in this giant world, not even world, universe.
Yeah, I mean, that was the biggest draw when I wanted to make this, is I wanted to feel big, but also feel small.
Yeah.
Like, we got this big going on background piece, but in between there, which honestly, though they did a good job with what it was, I feel like BioWare could have done more with, and this is what I feel like BioWare could have done more if they would have, like, yeah, there's this big thing going on over here, but also, would you like to get a drink with me, please? You know, that's kind of like that's where we're at, and I kind of enjoy that aspect of our game, and hopefully you guys will enjoy it well when you make it.
And you know what? When you do play, have fun and play well.
And may all your rolls be crits.
Yes.